Hello, ETF fans. This is Will Smith with ETF Action. Today is August 29th, 2024. And for today's video insight, we are going to provide a little bit of an overview of the model marketplaces and the data available, as well as showcase how to compare multiple models at the same time on the same frames. And then we're going to end it by quickly showcasing how to run our popular model compare report. So in previous videos, we've shown you how to build a couple different types of models and then also shown how to build out a blended model. And now we're going to showcase how to compare models. So once you build models, you will be able to find them in My Marketplace under the Models tab or Blended Models tab. But for this video, I'm going to use our ETFA Illustrative Model Marketplace. So here we have built out 6 different series of models ranging from 0% equity all the way to 100% equity, all with different tilts or investment strategies, while also providing exposure to broad-based asset classes across the universe. These are all ETF models, but you can compare any type of model with any other type of model. So again, we're on the ETFA Illustrative Model Marketplace. Now the Overview tab is going to provide you some parameters and settings that you set when building a model. So we've got our manager, category, your set management fee, security type, risk category, ESG flag, etc. These last 3 fields here, acquired fund fees, TTM yield, and the risk profile, those are calculated on by the system, and those will be updated on a nightly basis. So a risk profile score, this is our proprietary risk score, ranging from 1 to 10. So if we sort this, we can see that the alpha, beta, and active ESG 100s have the highest risk score, which makes sense given their tilt towards equities. So again, just a very clean way to quickly filter and sort by security type or category, etc., so you can quickly find and access your models. From there, we can press the overview dropdown, and we've got our performance, net, and gross tabs. These performance metrics are updated on a nightly basis as well. You can see here on the date, this is the last time performance ran, and we have performance for these set periods of time. Great way to keep track of your models, see what is going on, which are the best performers, which are the worst performers, develop those talking points for meetings, as well as figure out different ideas for boosting performance or changing asset allocations. So a great way, just a quick drop down to see what's going on performance-wise within your models on a daily basis. Again, we also have that on gross, so if you don't want to include fees there. Next, we have 3-year risk statistics relative to the S&P 500. These are run on a monthly basis, so you can see the last time it was ran was the end of July. From an annualized return perspective, we can see that the buffer ladder and the active 100 and ESG 100 were the top performing on a 3-year basis. We also have our standard deviation, alpha, beta, R squared, etc. From a correlation perspective, we also have 3-year correlation to select ETFs that represent different broad-based asset classes within the marketplace. So we've got S&P 500, NASDAQ, developed ex-US markets, emerging markets, broad-based fixed income, high-yield fixed income, commodities, as well as the US dollar. So a great way to, again, monitor and keep track of your models from a correlation perspective. Lastly, we have an asset class breakdown tab, which you can sort, breaks it out by equity, fixed income, cash and equivalents, and other. Again, this is a great way to make sure that your models aren't drifting past their certain bands if that is the type of model that you've created. Obviously, you can see here that the 100s are almost all equity, and then some cash and other. So those are in line with the design. But again, these are monitoring tools for your reference, especially if you create a bunch of models, which we highly encourage. A great way to keep track of those models from a performance, risk, asset class, and correlation standpoint. So I'm going to hop back into the overview tab, and we are going to now switch to comparing multiple models at the same time. So very similar to creating a blended model from my marketplace. What we're going to do here is select the box. I'm going to choose all of the 60s for each series. So we got beta, covered call, dividend, and finally ESG. And so if you can remember, to create a blended model, we press that create UMA. That would load the model builder and take you to the blended model builder page. Instead, we're going to hit this orange compare button. That is going to open up the compare tab. And this tab is going to look, these tabs are going to look very similar to the model analyzer tab, which we've gone over, as well as the blended model analyzer. But again, we've got performance for all of the models selected, as well as a benchmark. Again, on these set frequencies, we can also type in our dates or view in full screen just for a better perspective. You can also, if you want to focus in certain time periods, highlight the chart and this will update automatically. Just as a refresher, anytime you see one of these orange boxes, you can also type in any model, benchmark, ETF, or mutual fund that you have access to, and these charts will update automatically and on the fly. So pretty straightforward from a performance tab perspective. Risk tab, this is going to provide all of the same information that we have on the overview, but we also have that on a 1, 3, 5, and 10-year basis, depending on how old these models are. We also have charting for standard deviation as well as drawdowns. Composition, this is a very popular tab here. We have this originally broken out by security type as well as asset class. So that's going to be exactly the same as this asset class dropdown. Very important to note that composition is look-through based. So we also have this broken out on an equity and fixed income perspective. On the equity side, we have this broken out by market, sector and industry, market cap, and region and country. So a great way to quickly compare multiple models at the same time. Where are they allocating to, and which holdings are contributing to those allocations. So for example, I'm going to pull up the sector and industry tab. Here we can see that the covered call 60 has the highest allocation towards tech, but also this ESG 60 has a, let's say, 23% allocation towards tech, and SNPE is a heavy allocation that is contributing to that tech exposure. So again, very similar to the model tabs, you can see which holdings are contributing to those specific allocations. You can also click in and see that SNPE is also a heavy contributor for the ESG 60 on the semiconductors and semiconductor equipment allocation. So now we're going to switch over to fixed income. Very similar, these interactive charts, we have it broken out by market, region and country, and issue type, again, relative to that benchmark, which can be changed on the fly using this orange box. Fundamental perspective, again, we've got this broken out by equity and fixed income. No surprise here that the dividend 60 has the highest dividend yield. Down below, we also have charting for our key ratios, our multiples, and our per share growth. So you can view those on a table format as well as a chart format to quickly visualize and compare multiple models at once. From a fixed income perspective, we have it broken out by durations, maturities, yield to maturity, effective convexity, etc. Again, we've got the KRDs, yields maturity, and maturity broken out on a charting basis as well. Lastly, we're going to click to equity look through. So this is going to take a minute to load because not only have we selected 6 models and a benchmark, but this is going to break down all the way to the single security level. So these are ETF models and an ETF benchmark. So I believe this is going to load 14,000 individual securities. You can see that here. But you'll be able to see at the single security level which models have allocations towards specific securities. So we can see that Apple and NVIDIA are held in 5 of the 6 models. We can also see the average weight is very high for both of those. And we can see that covered call has the highest allocation both towards Apple and NVIDIA. So that is a quick run through of Compare tab. I'm going to shut this down, which is going to bring us back to the model marketplace, the overview. And the last step we're going to do here is run our very popular compare report. So this is going to look exactly like your My Marketplace, where this orange button here, all we need to do is click that. That is going to generate our parameters. These are not required, but if you want to make it look more professional, that's a great way to provide that report in a professional looking manner. All we're going to do here is type in our model or blended model. So here I'm going to do active 70. So here all we need to do is search these and this will populate. Got illustrative, ETF, action. Sorry about this. Illustrative, and then our benchmark, and press submit, and that will be sent to your email inbox. For time's sake, I have already run one of these reports. So here we can see that John Elway is curious about the active 70 versus the the alpha 70 versus the active 70. Here we've got comparisons for the overviews, growth of 10K, performance, calendar year returns, risk statistics, volatility, as well as some asset allocations. And then we have it broken out for the top 10 holdings of each model. So we hope you enjoyed today's video insight. Please do not hesitate to reach out with any questions, or if you'd like to set up a demo, please email us at team@etfaction.com. Thank you. Have a great day.